Rolling out with the crush. We've got Mr. Takeo Spikes here with us today. Thank you again for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me.
All-American Pro Bowl selection. You played for 5 different NFL teams. You've been a team captain 13, out of 15 times?
Yeah, 13 out of 15 years.
Let's start with your leadership skills and abilities. Why do you think that you were captains of those teams? What did you bring to them?
When you ask me that question, I go all the way back to my second year when I was first voted captain of the Cincinnati Bengals, and it's crazy. It was, I think when guys looked at me at that time, they just knew I wasn't gonna do anything to jeopardize the majority. And I had my mindset when I came onto the field, when I walked into the building, it was, how can I get better today? And how can I help us win more games? That's the only thing I was concerned with. And so I don't know if, it was a bad time in Cincinnati. We lost a lot of games. They lost a lot of games before I got there. But I just think my work ethic, the way that I carried myself, and even though things didn't go the way that we wanted them to go on Sunday for the majority of the time, I would always be the same guy. I was saying I used to just try to chase greatness because I wanted to taste success that much. And that's the reason why I would leave. But at the same time, the reason why teams would bring me on is because they always had a young team at that time.
Need a leadership piece.
And every time that I came in, which I didn't see it at that time, I was really raising those young babies into who they are, just as if somebody raised me when I came into the locker room. And so I'm proud of the fact that a lot of guys who I played with, they're still playing now, because I know a lot of it was up to them, but I gave them a lot of stuff too. So it was very bittersweet, bitter.
Coming from Sandersville, Georgia, small town, playing in those days, what was the drive? You won championships in high school, we understand that. Keep it going,
Yeah.
But what was the drive for greatness for you too? Because a lot of us, when we grow up in those little small areas like we did, it's a different mentality we had to get up out of there. What was was it your family? Was it your surroundings, or just wanting to be great? What was it that got you to getting out of Sandersville to the NFL?
It was a consistent, when you look around, growing up as a youngster, you stand on the street corner. That's what you do. I don't know if you know about that. But, you stand on the street corner and you hear the stories of the has-been, of the Washington County legends. And you grow up and you listen to them and you be like, man, he used to be that dude.
He was that dude.
He was about to say something.
Yeah, I was.
He was that fire.
But, shortly after that, it turned into, I don't want to be, how can I be a little different? How can I be legendary? I couldn't articulate that, but I knew I wanted to be something bigger. And so, in a small town like that, it just turned into, whatever I saw on TV that I thought that was success, I was going to try to get it. And so I would just stay so focused, do a lot of little extra things. I would watch film, didn't even know what I was watching. But I would just turn it on and just keep watching it until something resonated with me.
But nobody else was doing it.
When nobody else was doing it,
right?
Listen, I even tell you this. A lot of people don't know this. I'm breaking this out here. I was so dedicated and committed. I remember during football season, I wouldn't even think about having a girlfriend. Like I wouldn't. Like we can have one afterwards. But after that, I was just so focused on the moment.
Draft day. Your name was called. What was that feeling?
It was long, man. I went, and it really wasn't that long. I was the 13th pick, first round for the Bengals, and I remember I had my draft party at Planet Hollywood in San Francisco, and a lot of press, media was there, and I knew I could go as early as 6, or be honest with you, I thought I was going to Atlanta. And when I was sitting there, I remember receiving a call at pick 10. Atlanta had pick 12, and it was like, hey, would you want to play for the Falcons? And I'm thinking to Would I? You asked this dumbass question? Call me back at 12 and I said, that's what I was thinking. I didn't say that though.
Come on, let's go.
But and then when they got to the 12th pick, you know, you could see it, the cameras were behind me, and they said with the 12th pick of the NFL draft, the Atlanta Falcons select linebacker. And I stood up, I'm like, oh, from Georgia Tech, Keith Brick.
Yeah, I remember that.
Man, it was like somebody took the wind out of my sail.
Took it out of me too.
Man, I was lost in sea, bro. I was lost in sea. And I remember then I put my head down, I looked at my agent and I said, Sims, who has the next pick? The phone rung. As soon as I said Cincinnati Bengals. But you know what? It was a glorious feeling because, like, you know, people ask me how is it or how was it to play in the NFL? I tell them, man, it was a childhood dream that came true. It really was because, like, for me, my father, he worked his ass off in the chalk mines down in that area, Keola. And for me to have an opportunity, knowing what he went through growing up as a kid, segregation days, had to quit school because his family would have been kicked out of the house if they didn't work for the people who owned the house, what they allowed them to stay in. So for me, it was like, I made it, I'm gonna retire my father because he deserved this. You know what I'm saying? So that was the big thing for me.
Speak.
Room also had that, the TKO chain might come back, might make a comeback.
But hey, you know what? The 90s is coming back.
Let me ask you this. The TKO chain was epic.
Hey,
Takeo.
listen, man, that was your seal of approval.
You had that Takeo, it was dope.
Hey, I was iced. I was so
You iced.
flagrant. Tell you probably was like, is that you?
Yeah. You go back to something. Yeah.
I need to see these pictures.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's not the person.
Let me ask you this though. When did you know? When you got, 15 years is a long time, especially at linebacker.
Yeah.
right.
Out of all positions, 15 years is a long time. When did you just say, all right, man, I'm done? I know 15, well, not 16.
It was 16 was close. Because at the end of 15, you know, I walked away saying, man, I still haven't made it. I got to win me a championship. But I knew at the time, earlier that year, I ended up tearing my bicep. And I knew if I would have had surgery, it would have, you know, nobody wants damaged goods, especially when you're that many years in the game. So I was like, I'm not going to have surgery. After that year was over, the next year came, and I remember St. Louis, the Rams, and Jacksonville, they gave a call. And I was like, man, these guys still bad teams. You know, and I was just like, I'm not, mentally, I just couldn't do it anymore.
Right.
I just said, I'll wait. Hopefully nobody gets hurt, but in case if they do, I'll be ready. And so I still train, I prepared as if I was getting ready to go in training camp that next season because you never do know what's going to happen. And I never got the call. Did I want it to end that way? No, but at the end of the day, very few people can say that they had a great run at it from 15 years.
We talk about legacy and leadership with you, and I can say that you're one of the professional male athletes that I do appreciate how you present yourself and things that you do. You have your TKO camp there, you know, where you mentor students and kids and help their dreams become reality. You also have your book here, Behind the Mask. Are you still searching for that legacy? Are you still trying to leave that legacy in a different way? Because you've obviously had a great NFL career, a long, illustrious one. Is this still a part of your legacy?
Yeah, for me, I've always felt like, you know, my story will be done when I say it's done. I'm the author of my own autobiography, so I still have work to do. You know, I have work to do with Behind the Mask. I want to keep letting everybody know about it because, you know, it's bigger than just making a dollar. You know what I mean? I'm trying to go out and inspire people who really needs it because people wake up every day. The reality of it is they're unhappy. They're unhappy with their jobs.
They don't like what they do, right?
You know, and even if they may be qualified to do something else, they're stuck in a position and they just feel like, why am I doing it? So, you know, it's that feels like that's my purpose. My greater purpose is to not only educate but to inspire.